Hey, everybody, welcome to Community Matters. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited. We have two superstars with us today, Josiah Jennings and Carmen Sophia Dubon. I got it right? I got the name right, right? Okay, good. I don't want to mess up. All right, first of all, thank you guys. Let me just say congratulations. What an incredible accomplishment for both of you. And I'll start with you, Sophia. Just kind of, do you go by Sophia or Carmen? Which one do you
Car-
prefer? Carmen. Okay, I'll go by. All right. Tell me, Carmen, first of all, just like how did you get involved in theater? And then I'll ask you, Josiah, to say the same thing.
Sure.
For sure. I got involved in theater when I was really young. I was always singing and dancing around the house. And so there were shows in the community. I live in Greensboro, North Carolina. And so at the Community Theater of Greensboro, there have always been a good season of shows for children. And so I decided I wanted to do a camp and I absolutely loved it and I've been doing it ever since. It's my heart has been set in theater since I was about 7 years old and I love it so much.
Oh, that's fantastic. You knew right off the bat, right? I bet you performed in the house for your parents all the time, and they're like, okay, stop singing. And you're like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah.
What about you, Josiah? How about you? How'd you get involved in theater? What was the thing that was the bug for you?
Sure. At a very young age, I had the opportunity to go see shows at my local high school, Hillside High School. There was a program called Educational Matinees, and it was where schools could have the opportunity for their teachers to bring students to plays. And this program was started by Wendell Tab, and I was able to see shows and stuff. And I think from there, the shows really inspired me and they touched me to the point where this is something I knew, like, hey, I might can do this,
Yeah.
and not knowing later that this would get me here.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So from those beginnings to now, let's back up to what last week or is that week before last, when you guys were on stage at DPAC and you heard your name called. I can see your faces now. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
What was that experience like, Josiah, when you heard your name called and because I saw the pictures of you guys and you're like, wait, what?
Yes, totally. I was in total shock. During the whole process, I doubted myself. I was like, oh no, everybody's so talented. It wouldn't be me. So I think in the moment it just showed like, wow, I did it. Not only were everybody else good, but I was good too, clearly. So it just showed like, wow, I was just in such of a shock. I really couldn't say nothing at the pulpit because I really wasn't expecting it. But now I know that I could do great things.
Or what about you? Was it the same kind of feeling for you too?
Yeah, I was absolutely shocked. I had no clue who it could have possibly been.
Yep.
On that stage, there were every single person was so immensely talented and not only that but very supportive, so I knew that whoever it would just be a stage filled with love and it was so supportive, and so I was absolutely shocked and excited, and it could have been anyone, so I just had no clue it would be me.
Everybody was supporting everybody, so that made it probably even like a little bit more nerve-wracking because you kind
Yes.
of probably internally want to win, but then you're like, I don't because these guys are all so good.
Yeah.
What is your program at your school? And Carmen, you can answer this first. What does that mean to you, your arts program at your high school?
Yeah, my arts program at high school, I go to Weaver Academy and it's a performing arts high school in Greensboro. And I get a whole lot more theater time than most students my age do because that's what I'm there studying. And being able to learn how to work in a group with the same group of people for all 4 years of high school, it's really, really like valuable. And I am learning things from every single person. Everyone has a different outlook and perspective on theater. And when you're able to just be dropped into a group of people you do not know and connect with them, it's really valuable, especially in this
Yeah.
community.
So it's a little different. Just I'll have you answer in a second, but it's a little different from you then. So I want to ask you, knowing that your whole school is basically an art school, a performing arts school, how tough is the competition, and how do you feel knowing that of all of the students who are there for exactly what you're doing, you hit the top?
Um, so my school is very competitive.
Can
I
imagine.
I'm not a super competitive person. I look for the experience and not the outcome. And it can get rough because there are other students who are only looking for the outcome and looking to win. And when I'm a person trying to bond and have the connection with everyone, it it can feel very tense, especially with people I'm seeing every single day. So I just try to remember that everyone is there for a reason. I know my own worth, and I'm just going to keep doing me, and I am my own competition. The only person I'm competing with is myself. I am just trying to do better than I did the time before, and that's what matters the most to me.
So I see you nodding your head on that. Is that, I mean, your school has a very well-known arts program as well and theater program. Do you feel that same kind of, I don't want to say pressure, but like a feeling from other students there who are competing so hard and you're just trying to like be the best you can be?
I wouldn't really say there's a pressure for me. I'd say ours is really more like a support. We're more family oriented. I've never really had to
To
feel
deal with
pressure or
that.
anything. Yeah, that's just me personally though.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So what is your experience then, your theater experience like for you there at your school?
My theater experience has been very great. I got to start early in middle school. I premiered as Fletcher in The Bodyguard. Wendell Tapp gave me the opportunity to come in early to start the program, and he told my grandmother, "Hey, if you bring him, I'll show him from the back of the house to the front of house how theater works." And it's literally been that I've been able to do technical theater at my school and theater. I've had the opportunity to run lights for shows and participate in many of shows. And also doing theater has opening up me to do other programs within our school, such as chorus. And I've also participated in band and a little bit of dance. So I
Yeah.
say our school is very, if we want to do one arts program, that's fine. But we have students that like to explore other things. And I'm glad that my school allows us to do that.
Allows you to do that. That is pretty
Uh,
cool. And it is especially important to see how it works inside and out from the front of the house and the back. Carmen, you're just a sophomore.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, correction. You're a junior, a rising junior. I want to get that straight. How did it feel to step into that role of Dee Dee Allen at that age and being, that your second year in high school, going into your third now?
So Dee Dee is a middle-aged woman, and I am not a middle-aged woman. So
You are not.
so I had to learn her mannerisms and how a middle-aged Broadway narcissist would act. And it was so new to me becoming this character because she is so over the top and I'm a little extra, so it wasn't too hard to step into that. But becoming her, it was difficult because I am very much a teenager. And so the way I talk, the way I move, what my face is on stage at all times, I had to be very present and aware on stage. And so it was really fun because I got to explore a lot about myself and dig a little deeper into a character I probably wouldn't get to play elsewhere.
How much research did you have to do? And I'm always curious. Do you watch others' performances of it to see how they handled it, or do you stay away from that, or how do you do that?
Naturally, I am all up on YouTube looking at Beth Level's performance as Dee Dee in the prom and Meryl Streep. I like to see how they approach it because they are middle-aged women.
Right.
So it it obviously does come naturally to them. So finding out what exactly they're doing that I can take from just little bits and pieces while making it completely my own. It's fun for me. It doesn't feel like research. It feels like okay, I'm building this character and it's just gonna improve my own acting.
That's actually very smart to do that. And Patrick Starr, what drew you to Patrick Starr?
I'd say at first, fun fact, I never really wanted to play Patrick. Patrick for me was hard to accept just because I really didn't want to play him. But I think what drew me to Patrick more was when I actually watched the show and I saw
Yeah.
how funny he was, and his songs are like very amazing. So I listened to Super C Star Savior, um, which was the song I had to sing at DPAC Rising Stars. And I just remember like, wow, that's me. I was like, I can do that, I can put my spin to it. And I think ever since I heard the song, I was like, okay, I think I really want to take this role more serious and accept it, like accept the challenge for the role.
Did you do the same thing? Did you kind of watch some of the other performances too to kind of glean from it what they did just to see how they approached the role?
I'd say a little bit, but for me, I like to really dig into the script myself to see how I can bring the role to life
Yeah.
because everybody's perception of the role is going to be different, and the way that everybody performs it is going to be different. So I like to try to stay a little original.
Yeah. I mean, a fun fact in TV news when I was starting out, I did the same thing. I would watch other anchors and
Mhm.
reporters and kind of see how they report it. And I did what you did, Carmen. I just took a little bit that I liked here and then I did not touch anything that I didn't like there. It's like stuff you're like, oh, I don't want to ever do that. And you kind of build a person that you are, as a performer and on camera and as a journalist and all that good stuff. There were some challenges for me personally. What were some of the challenges you guys faced in your roles? And I'll start with you, Josiah, on that. Was there anything, one particular thing that you were like, that was the most challenging? And then the flip side is that what was the most enjoyable part of it?
Okay. I'd say having to accept the fact that I'm playing Patrick and being comfortable within the role.
You did not want this role, huh?
I really didn't. You can ask anybody. You can ask my teachers. I was like, no, I can't see it. And honestly, it just really took for me to watch it and know, like, see the specific things in the show. Like Patrick's a percussionist. I'm a percussionist. I've been playing percussion since I was a little boy, and the song is gospel. I love gospel music, so it was easy for me to do. So I think just having to like really like step into it and accept the role, I think that was one of the most challenging parts for me, and also just being comfortable within it. I think my mindset of not wanting to do it made me uncomfortable. So I would say just being more comfortable with doing the role.
Yeah.
And my most enjoyable part was performing Super C Star Savior every night. I didn't get to do the whole Super C Star Savior during DPAC Rising Stars. There's more to the song. So the song is a climax. So I got to the middle. I couldn't go all the way through
Right.
just because of time. But I say performing that every night and the audience loved it and I loved it as well.
Hey, Cooper, for you, what was the most challenging part of your role to get ready for it and to do it? And then what was the fun part, the easiest part, the parts you enjoyed the most?
Yes, so the most challenging part of playing Dee Dee Allen would being it would be to not make her so stereotypical. When you think of diva, Broadway narcissist, one image comes to mind, just sass and rude. But Dee Dee Allen comes to this small town in Indiana to speak out, even if it is for publicity. She is speaking out against homophobia and topics that are really serious and hard to touch on sometimes. And so being able to figure out how to handle that gently and respectfully while also showing that she is not just one sided. She has a very big character arc. She starts out close minded and she ends up being open and just a happier individual. And learning how to do that was pretty challenging because I wanted to make it clear to the audience what her intentions were
Mhm.
in the end versus in the beginning. So I wanted to be very clear with that. And the fun part was everything. I loved every single part about it.
You're like the whole thing was fun. So, I'm building on what you just said. I'm just curious, was there anything how did you leave differently, and both of you differently after doing these performances? And this one in particular, because I know everyone is different, but was there anything that made you leave differently as a person than you started?
I don't think that I changed much, but I do Oh my gosh.
Hey, hey there, friend. I love it.
Sorry.
No,
Um,
that's okay. I love it.
I that's my cat Pete. But I I will say that it just made me more aware that you do not know what anyone is going through and just to be a kinder person. And
Yeah.
so thinking about that every day for hours at rehearsal, it kind of really nailed it in my brain just to be kind to everybody.
Yeah. Was there something for you, Josiah, that changed, based on the role you played that made you think about life or things a little more differently?
I'd say just to be more accepting and be more open of new challenges. Um, and to be humble with everything that I'm doing and just remain grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great lessons to learn for sure. So we know that live theater can be unpredictable. Anything could happen. Were there any funny moments that happened during or unexpected moments that happened during rehearsal or during some of the performances that stick out in your mind? Okay, not all at once. Something must have happened there. Y'all are both like,
You gotta go first.
Yeah, I'll start. We got these brand new, very expensive, nice microphones, and the nights that the judges came to watch us, only mine was cutting out. And then the other lead's mic started cutting out. The guy who played Barry, his mic completely went out, and the feedback was so bad. And of course, it was on the one night the judges came, and I wasn't so worried about being loud because I know I can do that. But the feedback, oh my goodness, it was driving me crazy. But there were not really any issues, just the mics.
of
And there's
course,
always
that one night.
that. Yeah, yes.
That would be the night it happened. Full transparency, I'm a judge. Now, I didn't judge either one of your shows, so I wasn't there for those, but I personally give a little grace when those things happen because I know technically, based on where I work, that technical things can happen. So I do give a little grace on that, but I know that has to be nerve-wracking. You're like singing your heart out and it's
Yeah.
and you're like, what is
Yes.
going on? What about you, Josiah? Anything, any unexpected or crazy things happen that try to throw you off your game?
I think just for me, it would simply be try not to laugh at myself because Patrick has some funny lines and having to act those out on stage in front of an audience that's going to laugh. I mean, if you're funny, people are going to laugh. So I think for me, just trying not to laugh with them and just staying in the character and, the acting like I'm stupid or like, just that
Yeah.
type of thing. I think try not to laugh at myself was probably my biggest challenge, but I got through it.
How do you not break on some of the things that are funny when you're doing those funny shows? I mean, it's a struggle on TV sometimes when we have stories that are funny to not just kind of laugh at it. How do you guys hold that in?
I'd say for me, just knowing that, and I'm not perfect with it. I still struggle with like, trying to not break character. We're all human, but I think just having a certain level of focusness
Mm,
can help with that. But I mean, some things you just can't help. But I
yeah,
think just having that certain level of focusness and, just being attentive in the scene can
yeah.
help.
Sometimes if it's just funny, it's just funny.
It's just funny, yeah.
Yeah. Carmen, have you ever like broke on stage and started kind of laughing at your role or somebody else's role or?
God, I've wanted to. The thing that helps me is just not looking at anyone in their eyes because I know that when I'm on stage with my friends and there's something funny and I make eye contact with them, someone's gonna start laughing. So I just try and look out into the distance, and it is really about focus, like Josiah was saying. Just knowing, I'll say to myself, "This is serious. This is serious. This is serious."
That's it.
Yeah, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't do it.
Yeah.
We we I personally grew up in church, and so I had that struggle in church a lot because church is one of the funniest places on earth sometimes,
Oh
and you're like,
my
just you
gosh.
can't laugh and just it's just terrible. I've gotten in
Yes.
trouble a lot because I didn't always that didn't always work for me. Um, let's go back. Let's go back to DPAC the night you guys won for a second. What was the energy like in that room? I mean, how exciting was that?
Oh my goodness. I
So, okay, you guys can't really see it, but both of y'all just exhaled at the same time. You're like,
This is like, yeah.
hard. I mean,
and wow, and that's how it felt. The finalists were the last to come on stage in the opening number, and so I was the very last person to come on from my side of the stage. So one by one, I heard each of my friends walk on stage, and the crowd for every single person just it uplifted and it roared, and I just got chills so hard. And I went out on stage, and it was loud, and everyone was singing, and I could barely get my like words out to sing our song. And I was so overwhelmed with happiness because you could see everyone in the audience. They had the lights on the house, and looking at everyone's faces, you could tell they wanted to be there. And there's like nothing more powerful than sitting in a room with so many people who want to be there as just as much as you do. And so it was really elevating, and I felt like I was going to cry because it was so beautiful and I loved it. It was all loud and exactly where I wanted to be.
all right, be honest, y'all cried later, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Like I know you
Yes.
did. I know you did. And Josiah, so what did it mean to just be recognized, by your friends, your family, your peers, the judges, the whole nine yards?
It was overwhelming at first, but a good overwhelming. I say like positive. It just everything like felt aligned. Like everything, it seemed like everything was working out for my good.
Mm,
And I just remember feeling overly grateful and filled with gratitude and just feeling very blessed.
yeah.
And this, I think, so far, this has been one of the highest moments in my life. It's one of the moments that I've dreamed for since I found out about DPAC Rising Stars and just getting it. You know what I mean? Getting the title um, is to me, it's been more than that.
Mhm.
Um, so I think just overall, receiving it had me in such a shock and just knowing that our hard work had paid off, the hard work that we put into the competition, the hard work that we put into our shows, the hard work that we put into our regular practice with just ourselves learning lines, learning music, it paid off. You know what I mean? And even through me not wanting to do the role and everything, I felt bad for not wanting to do it after I did the show because I just realized how much fun I had. And when we really sit down and think about things and really process them and it's just like some things are just fun and
Yeah.
some things you just have to really like dig in and just dissect it, because it 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 did something big for me, you see.
It did.
Best
It
actor,
did.
you know.
Now you guys had never met before that night, right?
Never.
Isn't it cool that you're like linked together now in this journey?
Yes.
And the
Yes.
journey continues because tomorrow y'all are hitting some airplanes, right?
Yes.
How exciting is it to be able to go to the Jimmy Wills? You know, I was watching the Tonys on Sunday, and when they start talking about the Jimmy Awards, I was like, I know two people who are going. Well, I mean, I don't know y'all, but I'm gonna claim that I know you when you become superstars. So you just get ready for that. But I mean, Carmen, like how exciting is this moment in your life? And Josiah, you have a second to think about this too. To be able to say, I'm about to go perform on Broadway and learn
It,
on Broadway.
ooh, it is huge. It is such a humongous achievement. And I haven't really taken the time to sit down and like say to myself like I am proud of myself because I got me here. No one else did. I did this. I do have an amazing support system. I have a great family, friends who are all very kind, and I'm so grateful for that because not everyone does. And
Right.
so I know that when I get there, am going to get to learn from every single person, and we are all just going to be supportive, and it's going to be an amazing experience. I feel it. I'm so excited. I want to be on Broadway. I will not accept a life without it. And so
Love
this is
that.
just one step closer to my goals.
To making that happen. Josiah, for you, the same feeling, kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm here.
I know for a while that I've prayed to be on Broadway or just experience the Jimmy Awards within itself, but I really wasn't expecting it to come so soon. I knew I wanted it, like I knew it was a goal, but honestly, I really wasn't expecting this right now. So I'm just very grateful and making my Broadway debut. I'm 17 years old. It's like me, I knew one day like
It's
I wanted to,
surreal.
yeah,
It
I
really
was
is.
Yeah, I knew one day I really wanted to work for this and get to this point, but I'm here and I couldn't have been more proud of me and Carmen.
You guys are both in kind of the same place, different place. Because Carmen, you have a couple more years of school, and you are literally delaying the start of school so you can do the Jimmies, right? Just like so, you
Yes.
guys. I'm so proud of both of you. Like, I feel like I'm your
Thank
parent,
you.
and I know I'm not. But I do have one last question for you, honestly. If you could pick one role, and don't say Patrick Star, but if you could pick one role that you aspire to do on Broadway or off Broadway, what would that role be? What is that ideal role? And I'll give you a second, Josiah, to think about it. Carmen, what is that role?
Fanny Bryce and Funny Girl.
Ah, yes. Yes. That's a good one. That's a good choice. Josiah, what about you?
I'd say The Lion in the Woods on Broadway.
Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. I want to see both of these things happen. I want to see both of these things happen. Listen, thank you guys so much for taking a few minutes to talk with me. A little more than a few minutes, like 30, but that's okay. And I'm so excited for you guys. You have my email address. I want to get an update how things are going when you get there. I know you're like, I don't know you, sir. Stop pretending we're best friends. But in my mind, we are now besties forever. So no, I really do want to hear how things are going with you guys, and I'm so excited. Josiah, congratulations on graduating tomorrow. You gonna
Thank
have a
you.
busy Friday, sir.
I do, but I'm excited
Yeah,
for it.
I
Yeah.
know, right? You graduate, walk off the stage, and walk down the tarmac to get on a plane. And
Yes.
what is your summer plan, Carmen? What are you going to be doing?
Um, just the beach and the
Love it.
Jimmy as my Broadway debut and whatever.
No, nothing
You know,
major, just Broadway.
casual.
You know,
I love it. Guys, thank you so much for taking a little time with me today. And again, congratulations, and I can't wait to see all of your journey unfold.